Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another OCS playoffs event. I'm Dan Tartaglione, also known as DTartag1. Joining me tonight is Jeremy DePaulo, member of Team. I was about to say Team Five for some reason, but no, you are on the New Allies, and member of the team. We're actually going to see one of your teammates here in a second. So, how you doing tonight, Jeremy?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me. Pretty excited to watch this match. Uh, Drew has something special that he's going to unveil tonight, so I'm excited about that.
Uh, Anytime that Drew says he's unveiling something special, I think everybody in who's watching, everybody who is commentating, anybody who's following along is definitely going to be in for a treat because, I mean, Drew is one of the designers of the game now. So you got to think like he who designs the game should be good at the game, right? But
More or less. I don't think
uh,
I don't think those two things are necessarily I don't think they go hand in hand. But Drew is a very good player and he thinks very deeply about Star Wars cards, so sometimes to his detriment, but
and
most
I
of the
mean,
time he's a good player.
he's also a really good interview. If you have a chance to talk to Drew about Star Wars, about the game in general, or life in general, please do. He's a great guy. And then his opponent, on the other hand, is Mike Pistone, who also a pretty good guy. He's been an old school player. He's been around for a while. However, this is his first top 16 for the OCS. On the flip side, though, this is Drew's at least second. I want to say he's gotten to more than at least one.
I think so too.
Uh, so let's go ahead and really quickly just check up on our bracket. Right now, we know that we have three participants make it into the top eight. Chris Werfs, Gavin Ortland, and Timo Dusel. So
Yeah, a lot of surprises in the bracket so far, I would say.
yeah, we have the number one seed get upset by Werfs. We have the number two seed, uh, Tom, get upset by Gavin, who Gavin clearly wanted to play, or I'm sorry, Tom wanted to play against Gavin and called him out, but now, I mean, and then Timo, again, had the last essential pick. He picked Joe instead of Matt Harrison Trainer or Justin Desai. Um, and then we also have a few games that have already finished game one. Sam Tashima beat Bill Pittman, and Jeff Levine beat Justin Branch in game one as well. It does look like both of our players are ready.
All right, let's get
So
to it.
let's go ahead. Gemp is now up. Apparently, Jeremy, you're giving away all the secret new allies techs. How does that? I mean, I see like you have a bunch of cards on the table there. You have some deck blocks or two.
Oh yeah, it's nothing
Bill's
special.
Bill's like he's threatening to kick you off the team.
It's yeah, it's nothing special. We just had Georgia State's this past weekend.
So I do gotta
Uh,
ask, how did that go?
they went pretty good. Jonathan Murray won, threw it out.
Okay,
I
that's
went
wow,
I went 3-3, so
solid.
not a great showing, but a solid showing. I actually I lost to I lost straight up to one of our newer players. Uh,
Okay.
his name's Jordan. Not quite sure how old he is. I don't think he's old enough to drive yet. So um, yeah, he beat me straight up. I was really impressed with the
Ooh,
way he played, and
okay.
that feeling was kind of awesome actually.
So here we go. Mike Pistone going old school again with Hunt Down. Drew, it looks like he's playing the new light side speeder objective. I like it. He is
Yeah,
going to be
this is
Drew playing the Emperor. The Empire knows we're here. So this looks like it's going to be a fun and different match. Not something I was expecting. Okay, so we see that Mike is
yeah. So
going
Drew
with.
has been
Oh,
he's been talking about this deck a lot since the release, and he's been tinkering with it. I know he really
mm-hmm.
likes it, and I think he ended up on a pretty good deck list actually. I like where he ended up, and
uh,
he definitely put Pistone on Hunt Down or AOBS or
mm-hmm.
CCT, and he felt pretty good about that, about all those matchups with this new deck. But
Yeah.
kind of all theory crafting at this point. We'll see how good it actually is. I hope so, because I think it could be great for the meta to have a good speeder deck.
I mean, I like it. I mean, I was always a fan of the old school Legacy speeders when it first, especially when it first came out. I know everybody says it was too strong, it was too good right off the bat, but you know what? I had fun with it. It was fun. It was thematic. This one I feel like is the same way, and I'm sorry, but the objective looks just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, as
So
far as the matchup is concerned, I think it's going to be a real uphill battle for Pistone because
I
he's
don't
going to
know.
have to
I mean,
contest with
he
Luke and
is going to
Speeder.
get that. He's going to get that visage damage though.
It's true, but it's going to be really hard for him to clear Luke
That's a good point though. Okay, so we
because
do see
Luke
that
and
Mike
Speeder will
is
keep him flipped.
So Mike is going to be playing. He's playing with 12 card Hunt Down. He has his grabber out already. Drew has Goldenrod out. No grabber, but Mike will activate. He's getting 6 force. Greg, what am I sure about? If you're talking about the visage damage, no, I'm not. I haven't seen the deck list. Clearly, however, you guys have because you guys are a team.
Can't give away everything.
Very true. Now, I will say this. Drew was my pick on the bracket contest, and unfortunately, out of the players who advanced, I picked none of them. So,
It's unusual because you do pretty well in the predictions most of the time, from what I remember.
well, I mean, I famously like to give myself the kiss of death, but we'll see what happens. Mike going down with Vani, turn one to the
Okay,
Hollow
so
Theater.
no Vader turn one.
Not necessarily because he can still activate one.
Hmm.
He will pull Vader's Castle, however. Mike going with a lot of the AIs and the full art images. I'm glad to see that. None from Drew just yet. So, but yeah, I mean, Mike can activate one with Vanny here and then get Vader out turn one, but it will save him no force. He won't be able to really do much. I think it's better maybe just for him to draw the cards and go with it.
Yeah, hopefully Pistone read these objectives before the game.
Hopefully, he didn't pull a Joe Olson.
Yeah,
Because I know Joe said on Slack earlier that he doesn't know what these two objectives do, and thankfully for him, Timo was like, "Well, I'm not playing either of them," so
you should have just said he was playing both of them.
that's Timo's not really good when it comes to mind games.
I know, but it
And I
didn't
do,
matter because Tebow had really good matchups, and
he did.
definitely seemed like Joe was off his game too. Unfortunately,
Um, I know that Joe is might be kicking himself a little bit for one of the turn that he did, but to get the game as close as he did after that point, I think he did fairly well.
I agree.
So there we go with the Visage Ping. Mike loses Grand Moff Tarkin. Drew loses the Abyss Shuffle and Desperate Reach. Drew going to get out Commander Luke Skywalker. Not a bad card to get out first turn.
Yep, basically pulls everything in the deck, right?
Yeah, and I do agree with Chris Kelly in the chat. He says that this is a matchup where the Death Star 2 saber would be really useful, and I kind of agree.
Yeah, we'll see if Pistone's playing that.
I doubt it.
Kind of depends on what he put Drew on, but Drew has such a wide range of
And
decks,
that's
like
the
it's
thing.
impossible.
Like out of somebody who I feel like I played Drew maybe once or twice. He has such a wide range. He knows how to play the stuff. You really can't put him on a deck. So, and I feel like you do want to play something that you're familiar with. However, when you know that there is a good speeder deck out there, I don't know if like Hunt Down is the deck to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Pistone was expecting this deck to
But he's playing
be
against
played,
Drew.
but
I mean, playing against Drew is like expecting the Spanish Inquisition. You never expect them.
That's true, but I think that's a vote in favor for Huntdown. You just play something solid. And
That's
Huntdown's
a
been
true.
really good, so
Mm-hmm. Drew going to go out and get Haven. I'm assuming he's going to put that down to Hoth. Um, One thing he does have to be wary of is if Mike is playing the Sith Infiltrator or even the Emperor Shuttle, that might, I mean, if he can get that out turn two, or if you're Drew, you just go straight down to Hoth with the Resistance Transport to prevent Haven from getting canceled.
yeah, and Haven adds an SC2, so
Yeah.
he's gonna need a lot more than just maul and ship.
I mean, I was going to say, like, the Emperor Shuttle plus the Emperor and, like, a card like Grand Moff Tarkin that's sitting in the Lost Pile right now would be pretty good. Just because, one, they get 3 Destiny, you're fully immune, whereas the Resistant Transport is not. Now, I will say this: I'm a little disappointed in Drew for not playing with the AI Ray or the AI Leia Resistant Transport.
I don't even know if Drew owns those on Gimp,
Uh, he
or if he even
should.
knows how, or if he even knows how to put them in his deck.
Well, I mean, Mike makes his decks for him, right?
I don't know. Probably not a Gimp, but
So he plays the sand effect. I don't like sand, and he will stack another Leia's resistant transport, and they're tracking onto it. There's the out of commission on turn two, so
yep.
that's pretty solid.
Do you grab that if you're Mike?
It's a hard. I feel like it's a hard grab. Like it's one that I would consider. I would take a couple seconds, think about it, but at the same time, like I don't know what to grab in this matchup. I really don't.
Yeah, it's true.
And it does go lost. Drew
Yep.
doesn't have any cards saved. So if Mike can find a way to get the card back, bury it, then he might be fine. Unless, of course, Drew is playing another one.
Pretty good turn for Drew.
I agree. Like,
I mean, if Pistone goes to space, then presumably he's not putting Vader on the ground. I guess that doesn't matter anymore. The Visage is canceled,
yeah,
but he's pretty safe with the sand effect.
I agree because like Ray is what forfeit value 7. So I mean, unless Mike comes down with something that adds to the total, Ray like, he's only loses Ray here.
Yeah, and he's got to be, Mike's got to be real careful with at Hoth with Haven there, because Drew can
Mm-hmm.
drop a bunch of power pretty quickly.
Ah, there you go. Okay, so in the chat we have Justin Desai saying that Ascension Guns is the grab if you're Mike. And then he's also saying that Vader on the ground plus Vader's Anger is solid for Mike as well. And yeah, Vader's Anger is a really good card right now, being that you can get those multiple, the plus total to the Destiny and everything. And Huntdown generally does have a lot of high Destiny cards in it. Uh-oh, Mike's saying not ideal.
Hmm. I wonder
So
what that means. I wonder if that means he,
Oh, I think he missed on the Vader or the I am your father. So he will pull the Phantom Menace though, but that card really doesn't do much for him against a deck that doesn't have Jedi.
well, I mean, he can suicide ball and then track a 7 around. That's not
That's
nothing
true.
against speeders.
But I mean, again, like against speeders, where Maul is best used for like a double-bladed lightsaber or even the single-bladed lightsaber. I mean,
Well,
you don't.
if he has Lord Maul, he can play Lord Maul, then he can pull Duke Gunray with Phantom Menace. That's pretty
That's
good against
true. Yeah.
speeders.
But I mean, Lord Maul adds one to the each battle destiny.
Mhm.
So with Drew playing Sand already, uh, he would limit the nuke gun ray. So Mike would only still get one, and then each of his destinies would still be just the face value.
Yeah, Sand is going to be real rough for
Yeah.
Mike this game.
And it looks like Mike did ask for a revert. He wants to just check out his deck for his reserve deck really quick. Drew does allow the revert, a fair revert here. I attune this like something like, okay, I'm looking at my deck. I put my head deck face down for a second. And I'm like, oh, I still want to look at it. Just double check something's in there. I mean, something like that is kind of fair. And Mike will get out Darth Vader, Emperor's Enforcer, with the Mustafar Vader's Castle.
Banco, he can because Luke and Speeder does flip Hunt down. Luke does not have to be present at a site
Mm-hmm.
for Hunt down.
And there's no escape coming out for Mike, so he is going to get back the Vistas of the Emperor.
Okay,
Now
that's pretty good. This is good for Mike.
The only thing is, though, I still think he's going to take the 2 force loss if he deploys it here, though.
I think you definitely
yeah,
okay
you
with
want to
that,
get it out.
Mike.
And he does do that. He's going to lose a force field from his hand and Emperor Palpatine from the use pile. I don't like losing the Emperor there because it takes away from one of the Emperors from the shuttle, Destiny 6 card. Probably he's playing at least 2 or 3.
He didn't know what he was losing there.
True.
It'd be savage if Drew had another out of commission here.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Unita to get back that one that's on top.
I mean, he could retrieve it and see about tracking. Well, he can't retrieve it right now, but he eventually could retrieve it by placing Walkley out of play. I'm not sure you want to do that just because, like, right now you're only generating 10 force.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to do it now.
And Mike will
you're going to be able to flip him because you have Luke, so.
Mm-hmm.
So
Drew
savage.
has the second out of commission combo
I had
to
a feeling.
cancel the Visage again. Wow. So you got to think that, like, Drew searched with Ray that first turn. Do you think one of his pools was to pull an out of commission combo?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that would seem like it is the thing that makes the most sense.
But you got to imagine that Mike has one more
Yeah.
Visage in his deck, right? He's probably not just playing one.
No. I mean, from what the list that I've seen from Worlds, both Casey and Batmouse, I think, ran 2. And I think usually 2 is the common play. With no battle order or battle plan, Drew is going to get a free drain of 1 at Hoth.
What do I just don't pull it?
I think
he just forgot to pull battle order, or do you think
maybe? Or he just wants to see about trying to get a free drain in on the ground. I mean, he's mostly running a ground deck. Like, Hunt Down doesn't have the best space package, but it does have a decent one if you can piece it all together.
All right, so Mike looking for, Drew looking for a marker site here. I imagine he just wants to play the 2-2 and then put Luke there.
Yeah.
I imagine that's his plan.
And
I don't think he's going to fight into Mara and Vader right now.
I think we might see him pull the battle plan. That way... I like that. Thank you, Mike. Mike in the chat pointing out, for the viewers at home, there are not 4 to 5 more out of commission combos in there. So Mike did get a free verify and just lets us all know that there's no more out of commission combos that we know of. Like, he's got a 10 card force pile, he's got an 8 card hand, so you never know.
There could be 4 or 5 in there.
Yeah. See, and that's one thing I do like about this game is I feel like Drew and Mike are both have the personality that will talk to each other as they play. Don't get me wrong, I love, like, high intensity Star Wars CCG. Like, there's no card, there's nothing that beats that. Like, Magic doesn't have it, any of the other card games doesn't have it. But when the players just sit back, they're a little bit more relaxed, they can joke with each other. I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
So he does.
The problem that Drew is running into here is that he's so force choked.
And that's something I've thought about with this speeder deck. Like, it does come off as a deck that is a little force choked.
Yeah, missing that 2-2 was rough this turn.
Now, can you pull it when you're on the 7 side or no?
Yeah, okay. It's for remainder of game.
Okay. I've read the objective once. I played it maybe once, and then I was just like, I don't think this is good. I'm just going to put this aside. However, I would like to play it. I want to learn this objective. Maybe watching Drew will help me out. Drew does pull the battle plan shield after getting Luke in Rogue One. And again, like, Luke's pretty strong. Like, unless Mike has P-59 or Dengar with Blaster Carbine, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of that Luke with Sand on the table. And
Yeah.
even so, he needs to track around a high Destiny card.
Yeah, and there's the new interrupt too that makes the speeder
Yeah.
destiny or defense value +1. So he's got
I,
to account for that as well.
I do think you have to play that ahead before the 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 dark side player initiates or before he fires whatever weapon it is.
Yeah, but it still makes maneuver 1, so you got to
Yeah.
keep that in mind when you're tracking.
And interesting,
That it
Mike
could possibly
pulls
be maneuver +1.
fanfare. Interesting. I mean, he doesn't have a pool here, so what is he looking for? Is he specifically looking for like, I am your father? And I think that's what he is doing. Mike drains for 2. There goes another. There goes their tracking us and Red Squadron 4. Interesting.
I think he played fanfare because he was worried about Ice Storm, but he doesn't realize that the objective cancels Ice Storm. I think that's why Pistone pulled it.
That's
You
something
see,
I would love to ask him after the game.
well, he said call me paranoid at this point, so I'm assuming that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I guess Mike did not read up on the new stuff.
Jared in the chat saying that Jeremy is right again. I mean, at this point, like, I can't fault, like, Jeremy's always on the spot. Anytime he comes on here and co-commentates me, or even when he's doing it by himself, Jeremy gives a lot of insight, and I love it. So thanks for doing it, Jeremy.
Of course, I enjoy it. Makes me sound like a better player than I actually am.
I mean, I told you this before. Like, I would love to see you come to Endor because the last Endor Grand Prix, I believe you made a top 8.
I did, yeah.
So
I had a good
think
year last year,
you have to
so I
defend
decided
it.
to take this year off.
That's fair. I mean, you have to defend it. Bill has to come out because he made it. I think Bill made the top 8. I mean, Jeff Levine has to come out just because he has to defend his title. Like, all these players aren't showing up, and it's making me sad. Like, I'm going out there to spend time with like a lot of great people, but there's people that I'm gonna miss. So Mike just draining and drawing. He's gonna save 8 cards. Wonder what he's got it. He's digging for something clearly, but
Yeah, I mean, probably afraid of the defensive shield. Doesn't want to draw more. Oh, guess not.
well, I mean,
We'll see if Drew pulls that shield.
Drew doesn't have the force to actually play to use it.
That's true.
So
Well,
I
we
think
could pull it next turn and use it, but
yeah.
he's only activating 10.
Well, you got
Probably
to
not a good use of his force.
yeah, and I was going to say like you got to think that at that point Mike's going to lose a card or 2 from his hand to the drains at Hoth and at the North Ridge. So at that point, like you
Drew
can
lost.
get yourself up to like 16, like he's sitting at right now.
Drew
And,
lost Red Squadron 4.
yeah, that's
It's pretty good in this matchup, I would say. Assuming that Mike is playing space.
yeah, and I think like Red Squadron 4 is a card that if you're if you're Drew, you play it because you have the possibility of getting like the X-wing cannons. If you play a card like Sorry About the Mess, you can get rid of the Multisith Infiltrator when it's cloaking. But I don't think a lot of people play. I mean, people play the Sith Infiltrator, but I don't see it cloak a lot anymore.
That's because you usually see it in Bring It Before Me, where it's a house.
Yeah. Drew does drain, and Mike will lose. We must accelerate our plans and Hyperwave Scan. I don't necessarily like losing Hyperwave Scan there, just because. I mean, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew wouldn't be able to limit the drains or anything there. Like, if he's playing, it's a hit. He wouldn't be able to cancel the drains.
Or projection.
Yeah,
Drew
no
may be playing
projections.
projection. Yeah.
No increase of forfeit value. Like, I don't know if Drew gets an increase here in this deck, but
Okay, there's the 2-2.
yep.
Alright, that's good for Drew.
and Rogue 3 coming out. Rogue 3 piloted by Commander Wedge Antilles. He's a solid card.
Yeah, drain +1 there. So
Yeah. If you're asking
although
about the Red 4, I think he peeled it off the top. Let me check.
okay, then Leia V, who can download Reflection
Ooh, that's a good
V.
one. Yeah. Another
So
card that I know that Drew was talking about for a while.
yeah, Drew loves this card. I think he's good in
Uh,
this deck though, because it gives you another
and there it
+1 in
is, right off
space.
the top. So going down to Leia, yes, he lost the Red Squadron 4 from his hand. Uh, Reflection V, uh, seeing a virtual card, not just so it's not just General Leia Organa now. It's actually its own virtual card.
So far, Drew has played what, 1, 2, 3 set 22 cards. Am I counting that correctly?
Uh,
The
oh,
objective, reflection B, and then the marker site. Is this the most we've seen
yeah.
in one game so far?
Not, I don't know. Um, Q. I don't think.
Have we
Um,
seen any set 22 cards yet?
um, we haven't seen Aplak yet, and he was like one of the more popular ones. We haven't seen a lot. I think we saw maybe a hyperwave scan.
That's not 22. That was 21.
That's right. Yeah. Oof. I don't know. Come to think of it now, I don't know at this point. Okay, Mike goes into his next hand. He's going to have 23 cards in his force pile this turn. That's a lot for him. And he's going to force
Ooh, and he's got
push.
a force push here. Basically gets to pick any card he wants. I don't even know what you're looking for here. Space, maybe?
I mean,
Maybe shuttle?
Shuttle wouldn't be terrible. Shuttle Emperor and Tarkin
Maybe
wouldn't be terrible.
Orlon? Orlon would be pretty good, so you could start tracking the sevens. Could
Yeah,
be another Visage. But I don't even know if Visage is good for him at this point.
no. Like he's gonna be losing Visage to Visage 2. You really not necessarily you want to do that. So I would just I think the answer is like the deck feels like for me that Drew is gonna be weakest in space. Like he doesn't have any immunity up there. He doesn't. All he has is Leia and Rey.
He does get
And
2 Battle Destiny because of Haven.
yeah, he would get to Battle Destiny. But if Mike comes down with the Shuttle Emperor and Tarkin, you're probably going to limit him by taking a card off of Sand.
Yeah, but then if that happens, I think Drew's okay with that because then you run the risk of getting outpowered if you're Mike.
Yes.
Drew just drops the
Well, I mean the shuttle.
house, if you will.
Well, I mean if he's got the shuttle, like
Well, the shuttle's like power 4
four
in
with
Destiny,
Tarkin, yeah,
right?
yeah. It's only power four. It mostly relies on its Destiny draws, not it's just straight power. So the question now is like we saw that Drew is playing the Red Squadron 4. What else is he playing for space? I'm going to assume Honchoing the Falcon V just because it's an insane
It's
ship.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, if Mike went for that, the shuttle plus Emperor, he's probably going to take Overflow in this battle. Maybe not. Depends on how high he draws. But the next turn, you're in a lot of trouble. Plus,
I mean,
now Drew is
Drew's.
representing Barrier.
Yeah.
Going
He
to
does
space
have two
seems
force
really
save.
risky.
He has the two force save, so I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, I don't necessarily like just going down with the shuttle and
I
Tarkin.
mean, we could see Maul's Infiltrator Cloak, like you said.
Yeah, and I think
That way he
that's
doesn't
the
have to pay to drain.
best option, especially with that Red Squadron 4 sitting on the lost pile.
Mike also has to worry about this site where the speeders are at, because that's a drain of 3 with Wedge.
Yeah,
Yeah, Drew putting Mike in a pickle already in this game.
turn 4. Yeah. And Mike's taking his time here, thinking about what he wants to take here. So he's already down by over 8 minutes in difference between him and Drew. So here he does finally take a card, putting two cards back, and drains Drew for 2. There goes an session guns off the top. That's a good point, Jared. Jared in the chat saying maybe Drew is also running Theranet V, Red
Mm.
10, and an X-Wing cannon. Not necessarily terrible cards because I think you can still you can pull Rogue pilots and Red Squadron pilots.
Yep.
Or okay,
Oh,
there's
here we go.
this
So this is a
Synth
yep.
Infiltrator and Maul. I like it.
You're okay if you're Drew. I think you're okay with this though, because
You're
oh,
going to
now Drew
cause
gets some
2
more
points of
activation.
damage. You're causing 2 points of damage, and on the flip side, you're draining for 4. Okay, I think might be the best line for Mike. Like he needs to get as much damage as he can, and now Mike is threatening 4 points of damage to essentially Drew's 2 if he pulls resistance here.
Well, it'd be 4 damage because the infiltrator is going to cloak.
Yes, that's yeah. Okay, so there's the Emperor going down to the downtown plaza. Um, I don't know if I like that. Like
I think
the
I like that. I think that's good.
well, I'm saying
Shore up that site. You're not going. You're obviously not going to space with the Emperor.
yeah, and that's
You're
one thing.
committing to the
Yeah,
small play.
the only reason I'm saying I don't like that is I feel like the Emperor is a better card in the deck as a Destiny 6.
I mean,
And
he's got more. I think I like shoring up that 2/2, making it really hard for Drew to attack it.
yeah, but here's my question: what is Drew going to attack it with? Being that Luke is over there, Wedge is over there. I mean, speeder wise, who's left? Dashin, Rogue 10, and Zev.
Zev, but you also, I mean, I
But
assume that Drew. I mean, I know Drew's deck list, but
yeah,
let's
you know Drew's
assume
deck list. I'm just
for a
saying from the
minute,
standpoint of thinking from Mike's perspective,
we
who am
also
I afraid of?
probably has Lando, right? Certainly Drew has
Lando.
Lando.
Yeah, but I
Probably
mean, when you
Poe
have
Dameron.
Dooku, if you're running a Force Lightning, Lando's only defense value 3.
Not if he's in a speeder.
Touche. Touche.
I was just saying.
That's a good point. So he does pull
But Zev,
resistance.
Lando, that's 2 Destiny.
Yep. He loses a We Must Accelerate Our Plans and a Blast Door controls. The We Must Accelerate Our Plans comes from his hand. Blast Door comes from his deck.
Bonko, it is Reflection V. That is the card between Rey and Princess Leia.
New set 22 Reflections V. I'll pop it up again. Defense value and immunity to attrition +1 while at a battleground. Force strain +1 here. Okay, I like that. And whenever you initiate with a rebel of ability less than 5, you retrieve a force. 2 if Leia and a Imperial are participating. Participating. Lost if you have a Jedi communing. So, not necessarily a good card with any of the Jedi commuting decks. Which,
It's a really good card in this deck, though, because you definitely want to be battling to
yeah.
clear them off, and all your guys they satisfy that less than 5. Well,
Okay,
maybe not
so
all the guys, but most of your guys.
Drew taking Dash and Rogue 12. I'm sorry, 12 instead of 10. Um, let's see.
Yeah, I think if you're Drew, you just go after the guys on Hoth.
Yes, Maul did cloak. Mr. Matt Lutz. Matt Lutz, another person who's not going out to Endor. Who are we going to play? Cheers to the Governor, and here we go. Captain Cassian Andor going down to the Hollow Theater, joined by Derek Hobby Kilvin, and Hobby that is an EPP Hobby, and Captain Harris Andula as well. So Drew going down with 4 different characters. He's going to get 2 Destiny here. And
that gun causes forfeit 0.
yeah, I don't remember if he's got any characters in his lost pile. I think he does. So he will retrieve 1. Secret plans will make him use 1. Because he can place a character out of play with Captain Cassian Andor, keep all 4 characters there, and potentially cause overflow unless Mike is, again, running Gick in his deck. I know Casey did it at Worlds, but again, Casey and Mike aren't the same person.
Yeah, this could be real bad for Mike. If he doesn't have Gick.
Yeah. Hobby shoots, draws a 3. I think that's a miss because the gun only adds 1.
Or it's a break for Mike.
Oh, Para will
Oh
cancel
yeah.
and redraw. I forgot all about that. And he'll draw 5.
Whew.
Oh, he
All
draws
right. Well, there's the
Careful
hit.
Planning. I've seen a lot of people play Careful Planning recently, and I kind of like it.
Yeah,
So,
Drew has this in his deck. I don't know why. I don't really like it, but it's true. Whatever.
well, yeah. So Hobby shoots Vanny, draws a 5 for Battle Destiny. Again, Vanny is forfeit 0 here.
Yep. And he can
And a 4, so he's going to be up to 21 against a Power 2 Vani. Mike doesn't draw.
Okay, so definitely a Gek. Yep.
Okay, so yep, he does have the Gick. Curious as to see why he doesn't draw. Jeremy, any thoughts on that?
Just so he surrounds the guys on the Executor, but because I think drawing there, like, that means that now Drew has access to one of those characters or somewhere else. Now you know for sure that they're just stranded on the Executor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thought on what Pistone is thinking. Whether it's right, I don't know.
So while we have a break here, let's go ahead and give away, as Drew is maneuvering some of those characters around, let's go ahead and give a trivia question. I'm going to post it in the chat as well. And shout out to Carl for giving me this idea. So first person in the chat will get themselves a pack of GIMP AI cards. And Chris Schoenthal wins. No, wait. Carl wins. I don't know.
Have you counted? Do you know what
Yeah,
the answer to this?
So I looked at this earlier. I believe it is 10. Because there's 4 maintenance droids, and then on top of that, you can pull the 6 different cards. So, Chris Schoenthal is. Oh, Chris Kelly is technically correct. I meant to say Echo Base Garrison. So, Jared,
So Chris wins.
give the 2 Chris's a pack, please, for my blunder. Also, Bill, I get a pack too because Bill asked 2 trivia questions. I believe I won one and Miguel won the other. So Drew loses 2 to the drain at the downtown plaza. He loses Torn Far and an X-wing cannon.
And then he reacted to this drain at Hoth. It's pretty funny.
I like that. Hey, that's not on me. Oh yeah, Justin decided gets a pack too. There's only 4 light side maintenance droids. Josiah has the evidence. I like it. So Commander Wedge Antilles game text is now canceled.
I don't think that matters, right? Oh, I guess it makes it so it's not maneuver plus.
And there's Aplak. Aplak. How do you say his name?
Oh no, yeah. This Wedge does do stuff.
Yeah, he does some
about
really.
That last
Yeah,
line
I
of
think
text.
it's and P-59 coming down.
I don't know if Drew needed to do this. React to this site.
No, I don't think he did either. As for the virtual, yes, you're right. Technically, the virtuals do count.
Okay, so
I mean, if you want to get technical, you can pull R2 Brave Little Droid. There's 2 variants of him, so it should be 14.
Okay, Drew is playing Tac Banner Delta here just to make Rogue One maneuver +1 and immune to attrition.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why Drew did this. It seems unnecessarily risky.
I mean, he's going to get 2 Destiny. He's going to limit. So, I mean, that seems smart. But yes, I do agree. And the other thing is Mike doesn't, I mean, unless he has cold feet or turn it off, he's shield broken. So I mean, even if he removes Drew off of the ground, like, Drew's still going to be able to drain at the Holo Theater. He's just going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, this fanfare shield not looking good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mike should have read the objective. Come on, did you really think design was going to let this deck play Ice Storm?
I
Be
don't
way too
know.
powerful.
Draws a 6 for Destiny, so I believe
It
that
hits.
is gonna hit the Rogue 3. Yeah. That would have hit, I believe that would have hit Luke too. No, wait. 7, no, it would have missed by 1. It would have missed by
Yeah.
1 by the attack pattern delta. So Drew does have to lose 2 cards to the P59. He'll lose Ray and the Bith Shuffle and Desperate Reach.
Yeah, I don't know why Drew put himself in this situation. He lost 2 anyways. Like, he was just going to lose 2 from the drain, and then he ended up losing 2 from P59.
And he'll take
And
their
now he's going to
tracking
lose
us.
even more because he's going to lose Wedge and Rogue
Yeah.
3.
Ooh, Mike only
Ooh,
drove
draws
a
a 1.
1 for Destiny. That's not good. I mean, Drew could potentially get closer now. I mean, Wedge and the Speeder do have their forfeit still. Draws a 5, so it's going to bring his total up to 14. Draws a 3, so he'll be at 17. So he's only losing Wedge and the Speeder. Whereas on the flip side, Mike's losing multiple stuff, and he's going to lose Darth Vader, Emperor's Enforcer. Um, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, if you're Drew,
Yeah, I just don't know if he needed to
yeah, I don't think he did.
do this, but maybe he just felt like he was.
Mike took a card, or Drew took a card off the sand effect. He took off their tracking us off of the Santa card.
Because, like, as Drew, you were winning the race here, right? You were draining for. So you're dealing
Drew would have
4
been
damage,
draining for
but
2
6
and 4
damage.
to 6. Or no, 6 damage to 4.
Yeah.
So, yes. And I think if you're, I mean, I think Drew tried to force it,
Drew only
but
has
you,
5 cards in hand, so, like, it's
yeah,
doubtful he's going to be able to come down with a reasonable counter beat to this.
yeah, and I think if you're Mike, just moving here is the right play. Like, this eliminates the counter beat with Luke.
Yeah, now he gets to set up at the 2-2.
I mean, he's going to lose 2 to the cloak, but at the same time, I think you're fine with that. Now, again, though, Drew is about to do, I believe it's only 3 damage with the drains. Or, no, I'm sorry. He is going to get a drain of 2 at the defense perimeter. That's why reading cards is a good thing. Yeah, Aplak himself is a really. I like the design on Aplak. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get that Lando's Scoundrel is just an overpowered card. I for one, wish it didn't exist. So I'm glad that design came out with something similar to help Darkseid along because Darkseid needed support characters.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with Justin here. Like, what are you afraid of with Drew's 5-card hand?
Yeah.
Like, Zeb
Um,
is over on the the Executor
yeah. Well, he's retrieving
and
here. He's
Hobby.
he's getting back Wedge Antilles. So
What did he retrieve with? Blockling?
Walkland.
Okay.
But Wedge needs to be on his speeder to be really effective.
Well, he might have Unita. That'd be nice. That would make this set play would make sense if
That's
he
a
had
good point.
Unita.
Yeah, he did. I saw him. We saw him draw Destiny at some point. So here he's going to pull the wedge. That's the smart move. Yeah, Unita would probably be the right if he's got the Unita to get the speeder back. That makes sense. But I don't think
Has
you
he used
can.
Walkling?
Yeah, he used the walk. He used Walkling to pull Haven, and then he
To
put it
pull
out
it
of play.
to pull Haven, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, there's a drain at 2 at the Holo Theater. That's true. Wedge can cancel. There goes a Sonic Bombardment and a. Mike thinking about what he wants to lose for the second card. He did lose the Sonic Bombardment from his hand.
Yeah, after like Destiny at that battle on Executor might really cost Mike because at some point Drew's just gonna be able to put two guys at each site.
Yeah.
So you
And
go,
so he'll lose Tarkin's bounty as well. Then Drew drains for 2 at the third marker. Mike loses force field and another Weemass Accelerator plans. Drew checks out the 2 cards that are in his reserve deck. Yeah, I think you're right, Justin. I think. Well, I mean, it's a drain of 2 up there regardless. So I think for Mike, he just wants to keep the Maul's Infiltrator up there so he can drain for free. That's a good point. I
see
mean,
who's Mike have left? Ara, Kylo,
yeah, I'd say those are the
another
2.
Vader.
Yeah. I mean, he's used his once per game pool with the site. So unless he's got a Vader in hand, it's going to be hard for him to get another one easily. Ara Singh and Blaster Rifle wouldn't be terrible. Um, I don't necessarily know if you play her like. I feel like you either play her or Ablek at this time.
You mean in Huntdown you choose
Yeah,
between the two?
yeah, because you need your interrupts to get your sites, your locations.
Yeah, Drew's getting really aggressive here. So
Yeah,
I assume we're gonna see Wedge.
yep. There's Wedge going down onto
I wonder if he has
Dash.
Poe as well.
Sorry,
I said I wonder if he has Poe,
Poe would be really strong here.
but I guess putting Wedge as a pilot there would indicate that he does not have Poe.
I mean, if you could put Poe on the Rogue One,
Yeah, sure.
or if you
Or
put,
Reynolds
I
too.
mean,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Okay, so he's just putting that there, planning on reacting.
I don't like this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know about this either, but
I
we'll
know
see
it's
if
a
it works
drain of
out.
2 site there, but I, I, I just don't
A
like
lot
this.
could
Like
go
you're,
wrong here because if Mike could have like a react canceler, like a sense or something.
yeah, he could have Lana Dobrid combo, cancel the react, and then on top of that, like you're allowing Mike to retrieve a card with first strike.
Mm.
Okay, there goes another Rogue 2. There goes Rogue 2 and another Ascension Guns from Drew.
I
Yeah,
guess Drew just
Sniper would
feels like
also be.
he's just under so much pressure here.
Yeah, and in the chat, the chat is saying that Sniper would be really good. I believe that
Yeah.
Mike lost one early on the game, so unless he's running 2, it's going to be hard for him to use it. Checking out his Destiny with the Emperor.
Oof.
Oh, and there
There it
is the
is.
Sniper. So he checks his Destiny during this control phase, uses the Sniper here to attempt to shoot Dash and Rogue 12.
You got to assume this is a hit, right?
Yeah,
There's no way he goes for this
no,
unless he knows that it's a 6 or something. Yep.
that's a 6. So
That's
smart play
brutal.
by
Lose
Mike.
2, then get strained for 2.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
rough.
Drew put himself in this situation though. I don't feel like he didn't really need to.
No,
Like he could just
I, th-
spread it to the other
I
two
was gonna
hot
say I
sites.
think Drew was just playing a little too aggressive. Okay, he loses the profundity.
Brutal.
Yeah, and even more so. Like I do like the play that Mike did, not drawing the Destiny in the Vane fight. Like, I mean, if he drew Destiny there, that would have been another card like Drew might have been able to retrieve. But being that Drew is on the 7 side of his objective, like he really needed to kick Mike off of Hoth, and Mike's just making it hard for him. Okay, there goes an attack pattern Delta from his hand,
Yeah, I
and
don't think attacking
no.
in this matchup was the right thing. I think you just spread.
Mm-hmm.
I think you move your guys on it. Executor and just threaten as much damage as
And he's
possible.
gonna, so he's gonna react over. Mike's gonna cancel the drain or cancel it, and he
Cancels the
still gets
react. Yeah.
the drain through. Wow.
Life 4 counts are 10 down, 5 in hand for Drew, and 14 down, 6 in hand for Mike.
Yeah. Like, and again, like Drew did not. I don't think Drew had to deploy to the third marker of that site. Like he's out damaging Mike. Okay, there's the drain. Drew will lose 8 live, resistant transports, and careful planning. And both players will be playing game 2 right after this, so make sure you guys stick around. Have not heard from Mike Kessling, who might be joining us for game 2. And Vader going down to the 4th marker
With the
with
saber.
his lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if that was just dash at that side instead
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
getting snipered. Yeah, like, I really think Drew should have just, like, played your guy to the... Played your speeder to the 4th market.
Yeah.
4th marker. I don't know.
And now Mike is able to move Mara Jade over to the 1st marker.
Yep.
And I think if you're Mike, you don't necessarily drain at the 1st marker because you don't want Mike to Drew to react over with against Mara Jade. Like I feel like if your best bet is just to move from the 1st marker into the war room.
I think he's planning on marching in
Yeah.
next couple turns. I don't think you want Luke at the 1st marker.
Mike saying the move for free feels so sick. I agree. So Mike does cloak. He'll lose a Darth Maul and I am your father. So Mike's sitting at 10 in life force, 6 in hand. Drew, on the other hand, is sitting at 5 in hand and 8 in life force. So it's still a fairly close game, and it's still like anybody in this game. I feel like whoever's going to win is going to win by 2, maybe 3 cards, and it's going to come down to the second match. And I kind of like that versus. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the matches where a player loses by or somebody wins by 18. And you got to figure out how to come back and win it. But a close match is just it's a chess match, and that I feel like where Star Wars is just a superior game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Drew should move 2 guys over on the Executor. I guess you have... I guess you plan on reacting with Luke somewhere on Hoth.
I mean, so the only reason I'm saying that is like, okay, oh yeah, that's a fair point. Like if you drain, Luke reacts over. It's a non-battleground. You take Drew off of battle plan. Like he has to pay
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
I don't
So
think...
yeah, that makes sense.
If you're
Okay.
Drew, I don't think you want to react to the
Thanks,
1st marker.
Justin. You are correct. This is why you're a 3-time world champ, and I'm haven't even cracked like a 500 at Worlds ever. And Drew does move and spread out. But I think he's lost his Hojix at some point. But do you really fear like Mike sitting down with a 3-card hand?
Well, he's still got Kylo, right? I assume he's playing
Kylo would be a
Kylo.
little bad.
But Drew's taking a ton of damage. I assume he's going to reactivate Vader's sight.
Yeah.
Let's cancel that terrain.
I mean, he's staring down 6 damage or
Just take
8
6,
damage right
though.
now. It's still 6 damage getting through. And then on the reverse, Drew's doing essentially 6 damage too. Drains of 2 and 2 at the Executor, and then Mike still is going to be cloaking with the the Sith Infiltrator, and he's moving in front of Affleck and P-59. Like, why not move in front of Vader? Like, it's you don't have to worry about P-59.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's worried about. I guess he's trying to decentivize Mike from moving in, but I
Yeah,
think Mike can still just.
yeah.
Oh, he's okay.
Oh, okay.
Shuttling.
That's not bad. Now the other thing is though, I mean, going up against Vader, you still have to worry about Vader's anger. If Drew or if Mike tracks around a decent Destiny, plays the Vader's anger, that's +2 to the total battle Destiny, even with the Santa card.
I
So,
mean, it is a drain of 3, but it's going to get reduced by resistance.
yeah.
So this told me that
So,
Drew definitely has attack pattern Delta V.
again, he lost it to a. I know he lost one to a drain early.
Because I don't think it makes sense to put Luke in harm's way in front of P-59, knowing that
Well, I mean,
Mike
he
has
does.
sixes.
Now that Leia's on the ground, I mean,
Oh yeah, Leia can move as reactivator site. That's interesting.
yeah, but then you. I mean, okay, so he doesn't have the saber, or he doesn't have I am your father, so you don't have to worry about the force loss. Leia's going to get 2 battle destiny there. So if you're Mike, I mean, if you're Drew, you might react. But why not? Why react when you could just shuttle her down to that site? Like, I wouldn't understand the react there.
For the surprise factor, man. Because it's cool. I would love it if Drew did this right
Okay.
now.
I like that. Kirkanos gets no respect, and it's sad, but he does have a championship ring. Uh, quote of the night.
Do you have his jersey, Justin? Kirkanos' jersey?
So Drew is going to react with Leia.
I think this is good. I don't know. I mean, she adds a
uh,
destiny with Vader. I
she
mean, I
does.
think it's
She
good.
does. That's kind of crazy. Like Mike's like, really? Drains for 2 at the power generators. Drew loses another Ascension guns, and they're tracking us from his hand. I don't like losing the they're tracking us now. There's a drain at the downtown plaza. There goes Poe Dameron and Commander Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew has 1 card in his hand at this point. Mike sitting at 12 cards hand in life. Drew sitting at 9 cards hand in life.
I mean, this isn't looking terrible for Drew, honestly. I don't think Mike can profitably battle into either of these.
I, he might be able to battle into Luke just because of P-59. If he's tracking around a high destiny, why not? You cause 2 points of force loss. What's it going to cost him?
Well, I think he might just be better suited moving Mara over, moving one of the guys to the first marker, and then moving the other guy to the other marker site, and just really just spreading out
Yeah.
and not even bothering. But I guess I don't know. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be an interesting
Like I said, whoever's
end
going to
game
win,
here.
it's going to be by like 2 or 3. If I mean, and no response from Mike, so we'll see what happens.
I know.
Yeah, that would
I
be
just think it
a.
all went downhill for Drew when he just reacted over to the force train. I just didn't think that was necessary at that point in time in the
Mm-hmm,
game.
I agree.
Because like he could have established, Zed and Speeder with Poe or Dash and Speeder,
Yeah,
and
and,
then really have a force out to be reckoned with.
and the new ally, I mean, he's correct about it. Like, why is Drew moving in front of Mike with first strike on the table?
All right, so
You're,
Mike is battling into.
and this makes sense. I mean, you causing 1 point. You're essentially giving a swing of two force. You're retrieving one. He's losing one. You can potentially shoot down the rogue one. There's no attack pattern delta yet.
Yeah, this if he tracked the 6 here, oof,
Five does
that
not do
was
it.
sweat for Drew there.
Yeah. But if he's tracking around a 6 here for Destiny, Luke's gone either way.
It's true.
Oh,
Nope.
a five. Fives don't do it, Mike.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, I don't think Mike should have battled here.
No. Unless like the next card was his only six. But you don't know that Drew has a seven for Destiny.
Well, if if you're Mike, like you had to have a 6 on either of those
Yeah.
destinies there for this to be
Yes.
profitable, and if you didn't,
If you had a
then it
one
doesn't
in
make
three
sense.
chance, there doesn't make any sense there.
Yeah.
Now, what's worse is because it was Aplak and P59. Mike only got the one Destiny. So now, I mean, the best thing is like it does leave a card on the sand, so Drew doesn't have that card. And now battling against Vader, I don't mind this either because again, you're losing 2 points
Well,
of
he's just
damage.
gonna lose Vader.
Yeah, that's the only.
You might get
That's
outpowered
only
here by
problem.
Leia.
Yeah. Now, I mean, if the next card is high, I would actually swing here, cause another point of damage. Yeah, I would have swung.
Why? He doesn't have I am your father out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind. I forgot. Power harpoons. Oh, and two fives. Wow, Drew with the high Destiny no 3PO on the table. So yeah, there goes Vader, and there goes Leia.
Yeah, so okay. I think yeah, he has to. It's a pretty good turn for Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, battle in space too. Okay, this makes
I
sense.
mean, yeah, I don't see an issue there. Again, well, I kind of do.
Was immune to
Mike does.
attrition,
He's immune to attrition, but
and Mike
now,
or Drew doesn't
oh,
have a destiny to draw.
neither player have a reserve deck. The only thing is, like, Mike's gonna lose two here.
Yeah, but it was two for two, right?
Yeah. I mean, he could still technically cloak, but yeah, I might actually still cloak.
I don't think cloaking is good. I think landing is maybe better. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's only a drain of one at Hoth, but I guess you give up your
Yeah,
battle order.
it's a drain of one now. That's a good point. Because
He is
Leia is
cloaking.
off the
Okay.
table. Yeah. But now, if you're looking at the table, Mike's doing essentially, or Drew just did 8 points of damage. He's going to do 8 points of damage to Mike here.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's going to bring Mike down to 3 cards, hand in life. Now, and then Mike's going to do 4 points, so Drew's going to win by 3. Luke didn't get killed there. Yeah, and that's another good point. Luke can now block the drain at the first marker
Yeah,
by
but
just reacting. Yeah.
you give up everything, right? Because now you don't satisfy battle plan and you don't
No, I mean
satisfy
he
coward.
satisfies. He does satisfy for battle plan and coward.
Why? If he moves over to the first marker?
He's got the downtown plaza out.
No, I'm talking about Drew.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. You can't do that. So
Ooh.
I don't like that because I mean I thought the infiltrator cloaked.
It did, but now this means that
He's got to stay cloaked.
he's got to stay close.
But the thing is, I
And he
think
can land. He can now probably land
he can land
the
the just the
transport or
yeah.
shuttle ray down or whatever.
Now that that makes sense, but taking a card out of your hand when you're losing cards, it might not necessarily be the best thing. I do think that Mike should start training at the downtown plaza first. And the other reason is because if Drew loses from, I don't think Drew's going to do it, but if he loses from his force pile here, he could potentially.
Mike has 5 down, and that's it. No cards in hand.
Yeah.
Versus Drew is 5 down with 1 card, 0 cards in hand.
Yeah. Now he's got 4. And he does lose from the force pile, so he can't even react. Oh, he removes for free? Never mind.
He's not gonna, but he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because then Luke would give up coward and battle plan if he moves Luke over.
Yeah. So now Drew is sitting at 2 cards to Mike's.
I don't know what you do as Mike here.
I actually think if you're Mike,
I think you're just dead. Because if you move somebody over,
no, you battle. If you
battle,
if you battle and then just lose all your cards, you're still you're bringing Drew down to 1.
But then Mike's not going to be able to do any damage.
No, I'm saying if Mike battles here, like he just did, he sends Drew down to 1, doesn't retrieve, and then you just don't draw Destiny. You just peel cards, and Drew's at 1. So instead of having Drew win by 2, he wins by 1.
Makes sense.
I mean, I would rather win by 1 than 2.
It's a good line.
Or lose by 1 than 2. Yeah, Mike doesn't retrieve. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing here.
So Drew's going to win this by 1?
1. He's going to win this by relatively unprotected. I like it.
Well, I might as well just not even play this game.
He does draw Destiny, but I mean, it's a 7, so... Yep, Mike's peeling. So Drew's going to take game 1 by 1 force. 38 in life in lost pile for Drew, 43 for Mike.
I don't think this is how Drew expected this to go.
No.
But then again, I thought he was pretty loose.
He was a little too gung-ho for me.
I mean, I think at some point he could have done that, but I don't think he needed to do it at that exact moment in the game.
Okay, so it looks like the players are going to take about a 10-minute break. So us as commentators will also take a 10-minute break. I'm actually going to, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end the stream, and then we can just start up a new one so it's easier to upload to YouTube. Okay. So we'll come back in, actually we're going to come back in about 5 minutes. I'm going to hit up Jeremy. I'm going to see if Mike wants to do it, or are you free, and would you want to do this?
Yeah, I'll stick around. Let me text Mike, see if he wants to jump on for commentary.
Okay, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. But make sure you guys stick around for game 2 because game 1 was only won by 1 card.